Hello, it's beautiful Wednesday on Your View this morning. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my lovely co-host here. Hi, ladies.
Good morning.
Hey, Nima.
Good morning.
Why are you looking cold? What's wrong with you?
I'm tired.
Hey, what's tiring you?
I want to sleep. This motherhood and wifehood, whatever,
It is
I put
well.
myself.
Your reward is in heaven.
I brought all my battalions to work today.
Our mothers have done it, so you leave.
Exactly.
Yes, and they did more. They did
With
more.
7 children or 9.
5.
You had a record.
So you leave.
Just the period.
But they were in housewives in those days. Or maybe
No, it's much
trading.
easier
It
then.
was easier then. It's unlike today.
I had to get a cab this morning to work because
That's true. How's your car going? I know you're still fixing your car.
I'm still fixing it. It's a lot of bashing.
In 2017, I've told you, Oga, brand new car.
Amen.
Amen.
Talking about brand new cars, that means I went to the dashing out cars.
Mariah,
I can't mention the name of the.
I don't like these
I
things.
can't
that
mention
you
the
do.
plea, but it's an MLM multi-level marketing. I went there.
I don't like
in
these
my
things
life,
that
I have
you
never
do.
seen where they're giving out 35 Jeeps. I was like, huh? Range
In
Rovers,
recession, no.
Lexus Jeep in recession, Highlander.
Mariah,
She just invited us.
if you had brought one of those SUVs,
Listen, I won't bring. I didn't do any work to get the SUV now.
That's the point. So why you are
No, I was
not giving?
I was just celebrating like
need to go and
somebody in
check.
my presence. I said 50 people won 500,000
That is
in
what
my
they want you
presence.
to see. That's what attracts you. But
True,
there's a lot
Sha.
of work
True.
in multi-level marketing.
True,
Well,
true, very
one
true.
One of these days
Work.
we'll bring them on the show to
tell us.
Tell us, but I was like, goodness, is this our recession? No, something like national cars. Okay, now,
True,
how you
true.
doing, Jimmy?
I'm doing very well. I thank God for the season. I'm already feeling Christmassy. My mom bought me Christmas clothes. I'm going to go and I'm taking it to
That's what you're wearing
tailor.
on Friday.
That's what I'm wearing on Friday. So me too. I'm doing Christmas shopping for a few people. I went window shopping. I'm just excited.
That's good. Talking about Christmas shopping, there's no recession in Lagos. My colleagues went to the market.
Mariah,
Went to
that's
do
not-
mortar. See, they said that it was crowded. People were trying to
Mariah.
fall over each other to buy things.
I was up all night. Shout out to Morenike,
Yes.
Lanre, Norma. We were up all night in a particular club, her brother's club. They were celebrating 3 years. They were singing inside the club. Nothing like recession. And guess what? There's a particular music. You know this Undertaker music. If you watch wrestling a lot, Undertaker song.
Okay.
When they play that song in the club, it means that there's an Olowo there. Do you know how many times they play that song? And they were shouting, "No recession, no My sister, let me tell you something. This recession, it has its own corner where it is.
I went to Computer Village yesterday. See crowd. I'm like, should they say there's recession?
This place I'm talking about, as in you can buy a bottle of champagne, 2-point-something million. If you see the place, it was packed. You had to walk like this, But because we know the person
They
that
gave
knows
you
the
VIP.
person, we went for VVIP, not even VIP. So we're there chilling and cooling.
There's also no recession in your area.
My sister, it was a free drink. Please.
So you
Don't ask
see,
me for
when you
money.
talk recession, there are people that there's a part of this nation that is recession
no,
in,
the people you are
and there's a part of it that they don't have a clue what the heck recession is. All right, let's take a
It
quick break.
was a fun night.
Because I've seen countries that are in recession that they'll be running over to buy food for air.
And
Remember Venezuela?
there's actually recession, because some of my people who do Christmas, in some cities are asking that with 3,000 naira, you can feed a whole family this Christmas. So I was thinking, 10,000, you feed 3 families.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a quick break. When we come back, I'll look at the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with Punch. Ex-AGF, Attorney General Federation, Adoki sent $800 million to ex-minister and firm, says EFCC. Picture here of 140 Nigerians deported from Libya regret sojourn. Youths to ministers, tell Buhari we are hungry. INEC probes officials over leaked Rivers rerun audio tape. Workers, patients flee Ogun hospitals as Lassa fever kills 2. AGF Malami queries Magu, begins probe into DSS allegations. Customs intercept 102 bags of plastic rice in Lagos. Osun Court issues warrant of 2 monarchs' arrest. And passengers stranded at airports as workers ground Arik. All right, so this Libyan, people that came from Libya. Who has that story?
The headline before we took the Libyan story.
Okay, yeah, Adoki story. I thought we'll take that in
We have
Nation.
it in, yeah.
The
Libyan.
Nigerian migrants who were held in Libya over some time have been deported. Yesterday, about 140 of them, and some of them were in bad, terrible states because they've been in prison all this while in Libya. Some of them actually booked 2 buses back to the synagogue, so we don't know where. Maybe they were left from the synagogue.
What does this synagogue stand for? I don't understand. You come from Libya, and the first place you want to go to is synagogue.
I want to go and pray now. We are very, very spiritual people, but
religious
people rather. The report said some of them were held for what was their offense? So sugar.
Can't remember.
But most of them, like, they are illegal immigrants and all that, and I think some of them were held for miss whatever in the place. Children were there, infants were there, and also some toddlers were there.
Okay.
But the number of women were higher in that report.
Okay, who read about the leaked rivers? Who was that story?
The rivers, yes.
INEC probes officials over leaked rivers rerun. Yeah.
The INEC boss has put in place 4 what do you call it? Powerful committee, whatever. Machinery, 4-man panel to investigate the leaked audio tape of Governor Nyesom Wike in the last elections they had in Rivers State. And they're also supposed to investigate the conduct of INEC officials in the elections, those who did well, those who fell below.
Arik, yesterday, the union, they went on strike yesterday, so most of the planes were grounded. Other airlines started actually inflating their prices.
Arik workers have been complaining about salaries.
And passengers
7
also.
months salary owed to them.
They are owing me money too, they have not paid.
So, all of you take your complaints to Arik. Moving on to The Nation. Etete, Adoki, 7 others charged with $1.1 billion fraud. Picture here of one of the returnees from Libya, 140 Nigerians deported from Libya. Court issues warrants of arrest against Iwo monarch. Magu remains rejected, says Senate. Okay, so this Malibu oil deal.
Finally, the fraudulent oil deal since 2011 has finally been. Prosecution has started in the matter. They've charged them to court, although they've not been assigned to any. The case has not been assigned to any judge yet, but we know that they've finally gone to court on this issue. The amount of monies in the report is too much for me to.
Yes, $1.6 billion was paid for the OPL 246, which is supposed to be the biggest oil block in the whole of Africa.
Yes.
And was paid by Shell and one other company. Shell and I think ENI or ENL. Now, they was paid to the federal government's coffers, but that money was diverted, allegedly by Adoki, of which $800 million was given to Etete, and others were spread out. So they're trying to now investigate that amount of money.
They finished the investigation. They're charging now. They've charged them.
Story. The Senate were saying that they did not send Oga to be their spokesperson, that the report that they sent to the presidency was that he was rejected.
Yeah.
So they don't know where he got his own message from, that he's not their spokesperson. He remains rejected.
Okay.
So we can't be talking with 2 mouths.
All right, Vanguard. EFCC files charges against Etete, Adoke, 6 others. Talked about that. Militants regrouping in Ogun, says Governor Amusan. Diaspora Nigerians remit $35 billion in 2016. Mega party gets INEC's nod to begin registration procedures and no going back on Magu. So these diasporans, they're very serious. So $35 billion.
You know that there's recession in Nigeria now. So, of course, most people who are abroad will be working extra hard to send foreign exchange because it has more value now home. So $35 billion is a lot of money. So, we need to start to take them seriously.
Jumoke, let me say that, are you sure that it's not possible? I mean, it's possible that because there's recession, that's why they're able to even track that there's 35 billion. Because it was Abike Dabri that went to FIRS saying that she wants to, of course, they should remit there will be charges. They are making money from all these transfers that are being sent from the diaspora.
What?
So my point is,
the complaints from the Nigerians and diaspora was that you are taxing us on the passports. FRS say we're not taxing you. We're just saying show us that you pay taxes, evidence of tax, so that we know that yes, you are paying your taxes, and then we'll give you your.
I'm saying I am saying that people that live abroad this year, most of them could not send money as much as they used to. So I am saying that possibly the money, yes, if they do the checks, I'm sure
according to what she's saying, this is the highest ever, $35 billion.
I don't think so.
It was higher than 2015.
Because a lot of people that live abroad this year, they couldn't send money. This is from
what you know.
This is from reports
that you know
on ground.
People that the family members that you know. She is actually the special advisor to the government on
diaspora.
So she knows and telling us that this is the highest ever for Nigerians in diaspora.
They need to take them more seriously, Sha.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much the summation. Moving on to Daily Sun. Margot remains rejected, says Senate. Talked about that. 2 die of Lassa fever in Abeokuta. Customs subjecting Southeast travelers to hardship, says OB. Aviation workers suspend strike. Sign MOU with ARIC. Really? One paper is saying that they are striking. Another paper is saying that they signed MOU. Okay. Obaship tussle. Court orders arrest of Oshun monarch. And Nwuche, INEC unbiased and Rivers rerun polls. Okay, I want to take the Magu story, but what other story? Okay,
I
the
want
Lassa
to take
fever.
the Lassa fever. Adeshui Abolanle, an assistant nursing officer and a mortuary attendant in Abeokuta in Ogun State, died after coming in contact with someone who was suspected to have Lassa fever. They took samples of the corpse's fluid to ICH in Ibadan and found out UCH,
yeah.
And found out that he died of Lassa fever. That's how they knew.
So the workers now ran away.
So everyone in the hospital now have said that we're not working again, no, because we do not want Lassa fever. But Commissioner of Health in Ogun State is saying that Lassa fever is not like Ebola that you can contract from the air, that is from body fluid. So you have to come in contact with someone to get it. So people should not be agitated.
Maybe they have dropped their...
the young man that worked in the mortuary was standing in for his father. He is a serving corps member. So it's possible that he was not properly geared up for that job. So, and they were saying that this particular state, they've been celebrating months of being free from Lassa fever. So I'm wondering, because the commissioner was saying that they are setting up an isolation center. I said, so if you've been celebrating being free from Lassa fever, does it mean that they didn't have that isolation center in the first place where they could check for Lassa fever? Okay, well, I mean, because it's a pure case of people are not properly gearing up for it.
When we discuss budget this year, I will talk about the budget for health.
Yes, so 50 billion or something like that.
50 billion, 51.
Moving on to this day, Senate, no going back on Magu's rejection and domain not to our spokesman. Okay, I think Owa mentioned that already. CBN to eliminate Forex black market. Wando to expand midstream operations following the $115.8 million Hilois deal. Arik Air resumes flight after disruption by aviation unions.
We're now confused.
Adoki others charged for fraud in Malibu. In one day, we have like 3 different stories on the same issue.
Can they just pay me back my money? They have resumed.
Let me just quickly talk about the CBN.
Forex.
Yeah, Forex. The Minister for the Economy, Kemi Adeosun, has stated that the CBN has been instructed to close down black market, Forex black market, that they're trading Forex at almost 40% lower than the official rates, and that is affecting the economy. And so they want to just shut down black markets, and CBN has agreed to do it. We hope it works, really and truly, because we cannot have, in our Forex markets, there are 5 different rates. There is interbank rates, there is black market, there is official government rates, there is bureau de change. Why? In one economy. So if they can close down the gap, if it is 390 or 400 and we are buying and
I think
selling,
they suggested that already on the Senate.
CBN is now agreeing to implement it.
That's all we can take on front page review. When we come back, we heard about the news. Don't think we didn't want to talk on it. The 102 bags of plastic rice in Lagos. That's our hot topic. And later we'll have somebody who's going to help us break down this 2017 budget. Let's dissect it and understand it so you know what to hold your leaders accountable for. All right? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. The Federal Operations Unit, Ikeja, of the Nigeria Customs Service intercepted 102 bags of plastic rice branded beet tomato rice with no date of manufacture. According to reports, the Customs Area Controller General FOU Mohammed Haruna said, "Before now, I thought it was a rumor that the plastic rice is all over the country. But with this seizure, I have been totally convinced that such rice actually do exist. We have done the preliminary analysis on the plastic rice after boiling. It was very sticky. And only God knows what would have happened if people consumed it. I advise those economic saboteurs who see Yuletide season as the peak period for nefarious acts to desist from such illegal business." That's all quoting the gentleman from the customs.
Controller Mohammed.
Controller Mohammed. Now, what are your thoughts on this? The fact that, well, he said he has sent it to NAFDAC, right?
Yeah.
You can call us on 070-806-68014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so you can read the tweets. Now, ladies, recently we saw the various text messages and WhatsApp messages about how to test for plastic rice. And we thought it was far away somewhere, but now they're saying that it's in Nigeria.
When you saw that video, what do you think the target? When I saw the video of the production of the plastic rice that was being bagged, where do you think the target market was?
Africa, Nigeria primarily.
How do you know that though?
I automatically
Just
knew
suspected.
that.
The largest
Not suspected.
exporters now.
I
We
knew
export
that because
everything.
thank you. We're the largest
We're the
importers.
largest importers.
Importers, sorry.
Do we produce anything?
But then again, it came home to me when a friend of mine, and I came to mention the brand of spaghetti rice that she bought, and she tested it and realized it was plastic. I think I mentioned it on air.
Yes, you did.
And so the ways to know, one is the fire test. I've mentioned them, I'm going to repeat it, is to put the rice into fire. If it melts, it's plastic. When you boil it in water like we normally boil rice, it will swell like normal rice, but it will be drawing like it is spoiled. Then there's also the one of that when you throw normal rice into water, it sinks.
That's
plastic rice floats.
Right.
Now
Then also when you keep the rice, for instance, you just dump it somewhere, it's supposed to decompose and form molds and all that.
This one never spoils.
It never goes bad.
You know how yesterday's rice, by today it has started drawing. This one will remain like that for 1 week. It doesn't decompose. The Controller General of Customs has said that they've sent the sample that they seized in Ikeja to NAFDAC for verification. Some people were saying, before you start to make people panic, why don't you let NAFDAC come out with their report to say it is plastic? But they already did the boiling test of boiling and realizing that it's drawing and it melts in water.
Jumake, I know somebody. I remember somebody telling me that Chinese rice that only that there's an expertise way of boiling Chinese rice that it comes out nice and sticky. That's how when you go to Chinese restaurant, it's in the bowl. It's really sticky. So I always assume that's how Chinese rice is supposed to look. But from this now, it's not supposed to have that stickiness together. It's supposed to actually.
I don't know the rice. Well, maybe you said Chinese rice. It is but all the rice I will buy, most of it is Chinese.
Right.
I'm saying, I don't know of rice that is
the reason why I thought it was sticky was good was because they use the chopsticks to eat it, and when it's because it's thicker. So let's assume that's how Chinese rice is.
Maybe they've been eating plastic rice in China for a long time.
You don't know whether it's plastic. It's possible that is their own species.
You know, we even have different species of rice here. There's tuwo rice that you use for the tuwo shinkafa. It's completely different.
Sticky.
That one is very sticky. It's also our local rice. Maybe that's the kind of rice they use for theirs. My concern is that I live close to the border, and we see something they call rebagging.
What?
When they buy bad rice, they buy good rice, they mix them, they rebag, and then they sell cheaper. And unfortunately for me, the last rice I bought, it wasn't rubber rice, it was bad rice, because you cook it within a few hours, it starts to decompose. Like it can't last long. You can't cook it the next day. You can't use it for some kind of food. Now, my concern is there's also this juice being marketed along that area. It comes about 12 small packs for 500 naira, and it's written made in Ghana. No NAFDAC, no no approval, no regulation on this particular thing. Is there a way our Nigerian police, if we can even say the customs are packed right close to them, checking fireworkers without catching these guys, and these guys are in traffic selling, and you know there's no body checking them. I looked at them. There was a time I bought one, and one just leaked on the others. The way this thing was, you know, smelling in my cupboard, it was terrible.
I think we need to get somebody from the customs.
Yes.
Give us a number we can call when we see this kind of thing, so that we know how to draw attention to this kind of things. Because we know what they're watching.
There's a fear because I was reading one of the dailies just now, and the man from the east was complaining that the Easterners are suffering because the customs, what they've been doing is that when they're traveling, they seize bags of rice. Because usually, because this is the Yuletide season, a lot of people want to buy rice for some place like Lagos to take to the east, and they've been seizing their rice and all that. So I'm wondering, where do we draw the balance? You know, where do we strike that balance? Because the way, even if these bags of rice, the one that they intercepted, you might not know the quantity that came in, and if it's coming in, it's going to be taken, you know, in smaller quantities to other parts of the country. So where do we draw the line between oppressing the citizens, saying that, okay, you cannot transport rice, and trying to get and confiscate?
And we need to get somebody from the customs to explain to us. Let's take this call from Anthony. Anthony, are you there? Anthony?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning. Welcome. This is Anthony from Djibouti.
We can hardly hear.
We can hardly hear you. Please speak louder.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. After hearing a whole lot of things online, it is actually a pain in our hearts to hear this kind of thing coming to Nigeria. I can remember my last time, there was a time I posted, if you go through your this thing on Facebook, there was a time I posted Nigeria's economy and what's that, Cotonou economy. The way the rice here is actually far different from the rice here in Nigeria. If you check their rice, it's so wide, so edible, and even
I think we lost that call.
So sorry, let me
talking about the kind of rice.
The Eastern leader was now saying that rather than, you know, say you want to, because for the fact that they caught that 102 bags on Ikeja road, you know, it's already a failed this, because these things were supposed to have been trapped
at the port
of entry. True. So that was what the man was suggesting, that why can't you as customs tighten up your borders, you understand, so that I can decide now I want to buy lake rice, and I put my lake rice in my car, and I'm driving to the north to go and give my family.
Would be oppression.
So why would you now, you know, come?
That would be oppression. If it is a family and their own bags of rice going to their hometown,
do you understand?
That would be oppression. But if somebody was carrying a large quantity of bags of rice somewhere, you could check that. Let
me take this call from Hassan. Hassan, are you there?
Yeah. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
This issue of counterfeit rice should give us concern.
Yes, sir.
As Nigerians and as consumers of rice. The issue is this: what is the job of our consumer protection agencies doing? What is their own job? What is the job of Standard Organization of Nigeria? We should stop looking at customs alone. What are the agencies saddled with protecting me and you doing over this issue? No synergy, nothing. And anybody can get away with anything. Even people that are selling those rice, do they even know what they are selling? They just go and buy and put it on their shelf and sell. That's what we are seeing in Nigeria today. We consume anything. We are consumers. We are not producers. We don't even check what you consume. Even expiry date on product, we don't check. Yeah. Anybody can import anything and sell it to us on the road, and we consume it. And secondly, about corruption. Don't expect policemen to help you over this issue, Nima, about these people, this kind of Jews being brought from Ghana. Police will never protect you. What police are after is to arrest them and take money from them. They go ahead first. Good morning.
All right. Thank you very much.
But Mariah, the customs controller said that he appreciated good citizens who reported this, because the interception was done because citizens reported and said, Oga, we see one rice for Ikeja, or go and check. So, you know that the thing about governance is that it's about all of us. Exactly. Maybe something skipped, and we know how corruption has eaten deep. we will not leave them and say, you see, the rice entered Nigeria, customs did not do their work. If you see it, still report it.
Yeah.
You know.
And be careful about this beet tomato rice.
Wait,
that was the brand.
That's the brand.
What if they rebag it?
But at
I
least-
was at Igbobi and there was a container load. They were just offloading rice.
Did you
How-
report it?
How would I really? Why?
Why would you suspect?
Do you understand? Why would you
Do you understand?
suspect?
I quickly wanted to
You
add
are
something.
supposed to trace it
Within
and
the-
kill it from the border.
At
I
the-
don't have to be
at the
checking
port,
it like
there
that. How
should
would
be
I know? What if
consumer-
they went to the market to buy a huge quantity for their staff? Did you not collect rice in TVC here? So I will now report that quantity of rice.
They gave you rice?
They didn't give me rice. So
How they give you
well,
rice?
they are
Who has
supposed to give us
collected
staff,
rice?
but
They've
who
been
are they
distributing
giving
rice and
rice?
groundnut. We have not seen our own.
I called HR. I'm still waiting for my own.
I wanted
But they
to
were
add
sharing to
quickly that
everybody.
the departments within the custom, the consumer protection department, the standard organization of Nigeria, they have their departments at each port.
Yes.
Maybe they were laxing on their duties, but they should please up their game. This is the season when, and there's massive importation. The containers are just passing. If I pass by the port every day, and they're just
coming in day to
coming in
day.
daily.
Okay, so
they
quick
should please check.
Adebayo
Save our lives.
says we should report any of these illegal products to NAFDAC instead of the customs. Newman says let the rice be tested. I stay in Korea. Korean rice gets cooked
Sticky.
within 20 minutes. It can easily melt because no chloroform. Gina says the Minister of Finance, Sports, Education, Transportation and Agriculture should be removed. Too much excuses from them. DMG says I'm very concerned about federal government's new special relationship with Brazil, Russia, India, China. Moses Hassan says Nigerians are so wicked. How on earth can you bring such rice in the name of making money and many affected health-wise? Last one. Steffi says the proper securing of our land borders is key. With our porous border system, the indigent populace are in danger. Very
I
sad.
have to quickly say that they should have done the rubber, as in the fire test, whether it's melted. Because
They did,
if
they
it
did.
is cooking and it's
They
getting
said
sticky,
they didn't
you
specify
can't
which state. They just said the test. They were putting specified.
Let us wait for
The point-
NAFDAC's reports.
But generally, we just have to be careful.
People
pretty
have to be
much.
careful.
Yeah, just no matter where you
Test
get rice.
it wherever you
test
buy your rice.
Yes, so
Yes,
be
except for
careful,
lake
oh.
rice. Unless they can rebag lake rice. Talking about
Oh,
lake
feel
rice,
free to
where
test lake
can we
rice.
get lake
They
rice?
said tomorrow
Yes,
they
so
will bring.
they've launched pickup
various-
points, distribution points in each local government.
Yes.
For
I
Lagos
think from
West,
tomorrow.
the agric, there's this Lagos State Ministry of agric, a little department they have.
Anyway,
at
we'll
Agric
send.
bus
I'm
stop,
sure it's online.
just by the military barracks.
All right,
there.
that's all
our
we
own
can take
pickup
on
points.
this segment. When we come back, let's just talk about the 2017 budget.
That's
Stay
all
with
I
us, we'll be
hear.
right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Wow. Wipey, I'm due. Yes, you did, Wipey. Look, yes, let me tell you. Let me tell you what happened. Yes. You asked me how I was, and I said, I want to be like Uwa and Jumoke today. My day was great and amazing. Amazing. I had an amazing time. They just said that's Uwa. I said I don't know. I'm doing one. You want? Anyways, it's Christmas time, and I have a special gift for a special person. A special person. Merry Christmas, Jimmy. Very thoughtful. Very nice. Merry Christmas. Thank you. And my gift is for Burayo. When you say it, you love it. I hope you love it. It's something you like. Open it now. Christmas is a season of joy. Holiday greetings exchange. Of gift giving. And of families united. So forgive, tolerate, and share. As well.
Okay, thanks for staying with us. Now, let's go straight to the budget. We have a 7.298 trillion naira budget that was presented by our president to the National Assembly last week, and it's 20% higher than last year's budget. So let's go straight to exactly what the breakdown is. Who wants to go first? Jumoke, yes.
wants to go first.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Joining us on the show is a Chartered Institute of Arbitrators Nigeria and corporate commercial lawyer, Mr. Akin Omisade. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank
I'm
you.
so sorry. We're so eager. We wanted to go straight. You can call us on 070-806-6801. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TV so you can read your tweets. All right, so Jumoke, shoot.
Current expenditure this year is 30%. Okay, let me start from that. We have moved from 6.1 or 6.2 trillion in 2016 to 7.2, about $1 trillion higher. And lots of people are saying that's just because of the dollar difference. It's not really. If you check the value of money now to when we presented the 2016 budget, that is not like the budget has really changed. It's really more because of the
Exchange rate.
value of the exchange rate. But Minister of Works, Housing and
Power,
Power Ministry was allocated over $500 billion. But we have education at 50 billion, health at 51 billion. How do we juxtapose that the lives of the people seem not to be as valued? Now, some
let's take that as first, because I don't want us to go ahead. In that situation, both areas, do you agree that we don't value life by giving housing, works and power 529 billion and the health, education 50 billion?
Well, you've got to look at it in the context of what the budget is. The budget says it's economic recovery and growth. So that's the thrust of this particular budget. And one of the ways that this government is trying to reflate the economy is infrastructure development. And that's why there's emphasis now on power, housing, transportation, because those are the areas of infrastructure that is lacking. I mean, we need power in this country. We have an epileptic situation. So that's why that is. But then if you look at previous budgets, previous years, there's been a lot of money pumped into power sector.
Exactly.
What have you seen? Nothing.
So how wise is that decision now? How can we trust that this particular one will yield results?
Well, we live in hope.
Well, there's an issue I have with the education what's the difference between the education and Universal Basic Education Commission? The education has 50 billion, Universal Basic Education Commission has 92 billion.
Well, that's a commission.
What's the difference?
There's a commission.
Okay.
Education will go into our tertiary institutions, polytechnics, secondary schools, the Ministry of Education. And don't forget that we have a recurring expenditure where bills will be paid. Don't forget that we had the teacher strike as well, the university strike. That's why those amounts for this budget went up over that of last year, so that we don't, for 2017, have the strikes. So that's the reason why. And then this commission is also to formulate and help us in managing the projects or the development we expect in the education sector.
30% of our budget is capital expenditure, 2-point-something trillion. And a lot of people say that is good. But 70% is recurrent. And they're saying, you need to flip that and make your recurrent 30%.
Why would you sack people? Doesn't that mean you have to sack people to go home?
Okay, let's break it to layman's terms.
Yes.
You go to the market, you work, you earn a salary, you earn 10,000 naira every month. That's your income.
Yeah.
But you spend 40,000 naira every month. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, that's what the government is saying. We're going to spend 30%, we're going to spend 70% of our projections every year on salaries, on allowances, private jets, trips, whatever. That's what we're going to be spending. But our income is 30%.
Okay.
That's why you have the big deficit.
Now we have
I'm a lame woman.
Fine.
I don't know Jack. I'm a market woman. But you see, looking at this budget, do you think it's enough to sustain us and take us out of recession for 2017? Because when you see it, it's already giving me headache. I don't even understand it first.
Okay. Well, there are assumptions. This budget has been based on some assumptions. One, that Nigeria will produce 2.2
million barrels
per day.
Yeah.
And that we will sell each barrel at $42.5. And that GDP growth will be 2.5. And we expect, there's also another point, we expect the Naira to exchange at 305.
Yes.
They're also hoping to recover looted funds.
Yes, well, some have been recovered.
289 billion, of which only 97 billion is Abacha. 72 is in our purse. Another 90, they are still hoping
to recover.
So
please.
So now, based on those assumptions, you can imagine already that the budget is a failure. Because earlier on in the program, someone said the exchange rate was 500.
Yes.
Is that not the real terms? So if you
550, say.
Okay, 550 to the dollar. Or let's be conservative. 500 to the dollar. Now you're saying the Naira is exchanging 500 to the dollar. And that's how much you can get it for. Because the CBN does not have enough.
Yes.
You are running a business, you need to get it.
Yes.
Or else your business will collapse. Now you're telling me that you're basing your projection on 305?
Does it make any kind of
It
sense?
doesn't. Already, the day the budget was read, the international community said, well, listen, you're already telling us that you're not going to devalue your Naira, and that means we are not going to come and invest. And if we don't invest, how do we help your system to kickstart itself? Now you're saying 2.2 million barrels per day. Last year, we projected 2.2 million barrels per day. How much did we produce? 1.6 to 1.9. So there was a shortfall of... Yes. So now, if your income is based on those indices, and your indices are already failing, how is your income?
Another part of the budget is that 1.1 something trillion is supposed to be for debt servicing.
Yes.
Help me break it down to understand how we might still borrow and how we'll continue to... What is this whole English about debt servicing and, borrowing and all that?
Good question.
Well, it's sad to say that maybe our grandchildren will still be paying back this debt. Because
that shouldn't be surprised because many countries are still owing.
Many countries are still owing. But you see, the thing is, capacity to pay back is different.
That's why we're developing infrastructure.
Let me answer. Because this question is very critical. Because if you don't have a proper structure, the president is fighting corruption. And the system is still fighting against that corruption fight. Do you understand? Because if the system is still porous and there are still loopholes for corruption, what is the point of it? Because if we say we want to continue to service them, what if somebody decides to embezzle the money? Do you understand? How do we now guard that?
Well, it's a catch-22 situation. Chicken and egg.
Hell.
What do? We need money. We don't have the enabling environment for investors to come in. The private sector in Nigeria is not functioning to full capacity. So we need help. So the only way we can get help is to borrow. And then when you borrow, you don't borrow for free.
You must pay interest.
You pay interest. So that is where we service our debts. And don't forget that we've been inheriting, successive governments have been inheriting debts over the different years.
I was made to understand that Nigeria joined the League of Islamic Nations because Islamic loans were supposed to be interest free.
Yes.
And that, they could borrow from there. What options do we have of borrowing without having to pay interest? Are there such options? Is it possible?
Well, there could be such options, but then you'll discover that there was an issue of the 30 billion.
That they wanted to go to the...
So
I wanted to just quickly read the total budget, capital expenditure, and just break it down quickly before I ask my question. Power, works and housing is 529 billion. Transportation is 262 billion. Special intervention programs, defense, 140 billion. Water resources, 85 billion. Industry, trade and investment, 81 billion. Interior, 63 billion. Education, 50 billion. Universal Basic Education Commission, 92 billion. Health, 51 billion. Federal Capital Territory, that's Abuja, 37 billion.
Excuse me.
Niger Delta Ministry, 33 billion. Then there's Niger Delta Development Commission, 61.
What's the difference?
Hold on. Why is NDDC getting 61 billion
and
when health is getting 51 billion? Education. So it means that only the Niger Delta Commission is getting more budgetary allocation than health.
But what's the difference between the Niger Delta Ministry and the Niger Delta Development Commission? What are they doing?
Don't forget that there's been a lot of issues in the Niger Delta. There's been a lot of agitation.
Yes.
And that commission is going to be taking care of that agitation. There's going to be the consultation. And
Or just giving them money.
Well,
in the same question you asked, that you gave the power certain amount, we've not saying anything. In the same issue, we've given the Niger Delta Commission, and still we still have.
They are building the universities.
Taking the basket to the river. The Niger Delta case is almost like taking the basket.
When we come back, we'll take more calls and questions. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Okay, thanks for staying with us. Now, so going back to the Niger Delta, we have, I think
Niger
it's,
Delta Commission.
133 billion to Niger Delta Ministry, and then Niger Delta Development Commission has 61 billion.
Yeah.
Why so much?
well, just like I said, don't forget there's been a lot of agitation. There's been there's the need for a lot of development in the Niger Delta Basin. This commission will look into all that. We'll consult, we'll make projections, we'll make provisions, we'll discourse.
On paper.
On paper.
Well, giving them money in the past.
Consultation will also take a lot of money. Okay, now why breaking down capital expenditure? Jumoke talked about the FCT getting about 300 and something.
37 billion.
37 billion. And we need this amount of money in the health sector if we want to upgrade our health sector, which we know is already deficient in a lot of places. What's the how do you explain this? How do you make people understand giving the FCT money for roads, probably just putting infrastructure in the FCT, and most people are needing health in a lot of areas.
Okay, let me let you answer that.
Well, I mean, if you looked at what happened last year, 3 billion to State House Clinic, 3.5 billion to 17 teaching hospitals nationwide.
Can you imagine?
It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. It's a case of misplaced priorities.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Let me take Abubakar from Kwebi. Are you there, Abubakar?
I am.
Abubakar.
Hi, everybody. Yes. Hello. Can you
Thanks
hear me?
for calling.
Yeah. May God bless all of you. And
I can't hear you very well.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Speak up. Yes.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
God bless you very much for saying something. What actually is problem with us is us ourselves, we Nigerians. Now, who has said something that I appreciate so much? He said Buhari is fighting corruption, and the corruption which is hot is fighting back. And most of us just play back. This budget is just a projection. The implementation is the problem. And the Nigerian citizenry, do we appreciate what we want? That is just the problem we have. It's not the budget per se. It is who we are that is the problem. Thank you.
Okay. Tying my question to what Abubakar said, I remember when we were dissecting the 2016 budget, I was saying they had a 500 billion welfare package that was supposed to be paying 5,000 naira to vulnerable people. I questioned it. I don't think that has been implemented yet. In 2017 budget, there's 100 billion in special intervention program as seed money into the 1 trillion naira family homes fund. So I'm saying that it seems like, and you remember Lagarde said that our budget of 2016 was what's the right word that she used though?
Unrealistic, I think.
No, that wasn't the word.
Ambitious. God will bless you. So don't you think that 2017 budget again is over ambitious?
Well, it's a joke.
So can we just talk solution? Can we talk solution?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't believe in the budget.
Because
the thing is, it doesn't instill confidence. I'm a commercial person. It doesn't instill confidence in me. It doesn't instill confidence in the citizens. It doesn't instill confidence in investors. It doesn't instill confidence in just like the gentleman called, the people that are going to implement this. Because we don't believe it. These are projections, but they're not realistic projections.
Interesting. Let me take this call from Taraba. Arinze, are you there?
We should talk solution.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. It's not implementing the budget that is the matter. It's to pass it. It's to make it into reality. That's the problem. We are fighting corruption in Nigeria, but quite all right. The corruption is still within. So if at all, they will look for a competent economy, people that will be able to get us out of this issue which we are in Nigeria. I believe we will go far. All this budget they are making from 6.1 trillion to 7 point something trillion, it doesn't make, we still bounce back to what we are without proper management and accountability.
Thank you very much for that.
Bless you, Arisi.
Yes.
He's made some points.
Yes.
There are certain key issues. Our foundation for the budget is skewed, wrongly skewed. We're holding on to a currency that is not holding on to its value. Inflation is going up north.
Almost 20%.
Almost 18.4. Last year, 53% of our expected investment left the country. So how are you going to survive? Now, you put out policies that you're going to arrest the BDC operators. How is that going to work?
Okay, what's the place
Sorry,
of
the
the
question
TSA in all
I
this?
wanted to ask, what you mentioned about the investors saying that if they are not ready to devalue our
The naira.
currency,
Yes.
that they are not coming into
They're not
Nigeria.
going to come.
What is the benefit? You understand? Because
Of
even me, I'm
devaluation.
scared. If I hear devaluation, I am scared. I don't understand what it would, the impact it will have on my own economy, my own small bank account.
You need to understand that you're an economy on your own.
Yes.
You're a macroeconomy.
Yes.
Okay, now, the 10 naira that you have in your pocket today, what can it achieve?
Nothing.
Nothing. But when the value is taken away, it will achieve the real value.
Okay.
That's why we're saying you have a naira that is chasing a fake value that you think it's X amount.
Yes.
But in real terms, it is not
not.
X
Worth
amount.
nothing.
So why don't you let it be what it's worth?
Let it float.
Exactly. That is why we're saying let it float. So when we're talking about devaluation, it's, listen, you have a naira that you're saying it can buy this cup at 1 naira. And you actually have 1 naira. But when you actually go there, you don't have that.
Before you can buy it.
So why don't you let it have its actual value?
Exactly.
And then we will know that we are actually trading on the real terms.
Realistic.
And then, yes, realistically. And then when we're doing that, we have more money to back it up. We have more foreign exchange to back it up. Don't forget our currency is linked to the dollar. In everything we do, we link it to the dollar.
All right, we have to round up. So we know what our capital expenditure is.
Yes.
But again, what we're saying, what I'm hearing from you, that the issue really is the assumption. The
assumptions.
The assumptions are, the indices are very, very faulty. And that's an issue. So
they're
you
more
want to
than very
spend,
faulty. They are faulty.
So you want to spend all this, you want to do all these nice things with the housing, with the education,
unrealistic.
but your
Where
indices
you are
of getting
there
that money from
sourcing, yes,
is
unrealistic.
It's unrealistic. That was
Yeah.
that was saying from our own
Very, very
discussions.
much
All right,
unrealistic.
that's all we can take on
We have to bring
you
you
wanted to
back.
ask a question on
What's the solution?
TSA.
Well, you know, that's one policy we thought would make everything fine. So what's the place of the TSA in all this?
In all these scheme
Yes.
of things, well, it gives us accountability. And that's what the zero-based budgeting is all about. Okay, we have principles now. Nowadays, don't forget that the objective was to plug the leakages. And that it's been done.
Yeah.
And basically what is happening is also to say that, okay, listen, there isn't going to be too much free money in
Anymore.
the economy. So now we're actually getting the real value of what everything is
All
worth.
right, that's all we can take on the show. Thank you very much sir,
Why
for
we
coming.
finish this matter, man?
We
I
have to bring
hope
you
our
back.
viewers are able to
Okay.
understand better what the budget, what 2017 budget
And it's important.
composed of, all the various things. But we can still talk more on this. I know Jumoke is not
I'm
convinced that we are done. But
No, but I'm very happy
we'll,
with this. Well done.
we'll bring you back again and see. Because the idea is that to get you to understand
Yeah.
what our president presented to the National Assembly, right?
Yeah.
That's all we can take on the show. See you tomorrow. And Friday is our Christmas special. Please don't forget, if you want to be a part of that, of the audience, send your name and phone number to yourview@tvcontinental.tv so we can invite you officially for our audience. And our CBS Fun Fest is still ongoing. That's why I'm wearing the t-shirt. Wow. Please come with your kids.
Fran is
My kids
going
came
today.
yesterday. They had mad fun. I mean, what? They got home like this and they were knocked out. So trust me, if you want your kids to be knocked out, come to CBS Family Fun Fair. Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow.